So it did not take long for David Dobrik to feel the financial impact of the sexual assault allegations. He's lost brand deals, sponsorships, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. His career has been devastated. So he came out with a second apology video. I don't know if you've seen the first one, but he came out initially with a pretty lackluster apology on his second channel, in which he sort of didn't take responsibility and kind of said, "Hey, look, I'm making content. Sometimes I hit, sometimes I miss. I'm really sorry." And that went over like a lead balloon. So this time he came out with a much more robust and comprehensive apology. And so I want to talk about his apology. I've already made a video about what David did, what Dom did, and there is a ton of other videos. So I just want to talk about what was the impact of his apology. How did it strike me? So when I think about one of these apologies, I think about two things. Is it genuine, and do they get it? And to me, on the genuine front, I thought he did a great job. I know he's a smart guy. I know he did things strategically to make the video look more genuine, right? He didn't do it in the studio where he does his Views podcast. He did it like in front of a couch, sitting on the floor. He made a point to talk about how he finally was alone. He made a point to, when he was setting up the camera at the start of the video, you see him sort of pan around a little bit, and it makes it look like it's, done by an amateur. And trust me, that guy knows how to run a camera. So he did things to make it feel authentic, which I think he should. He teared up in the video, and so for me, it passes the smell test. But I'm not a mind reader; I don't know. But if I were his media manager, I would say, good job on that front. The second piece, which I think is sort of I can observe better, is does he get it? And I thought he did a really good job of demonstrating that he understands the impact, at least intellectually, the impact of what he did. Instead of just saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have put the video out," he said, "Hey, here's what I was thinking, and here's where I went wrong." So the first thing was, he acknowledged that he didn't recognize that having a camera and having such a large audience gave him positional power, and that he was using that power to coerce people into engaging in behaviors that they wouldn't otherwise want to engage in. And he didn't recognize it before. And I believe him that, his channel grew organically over the course of 5 years, and you're doing vlogs every single week. And I can imagine that it would be hard for him to sort of understand oh my God, I have this power, and how am I going to use it? Am I going to use it in the right way? So he acknowledged that, and he acknowledged that he made a miss there. I also thought he did a good job of acknowledging that he didn't recognize how bad Dom's behavior was. He recognized that he not only was he not acknowledging what Dom's behavior was, but he wasn't dismissing it, right? He was actually elevating Dom. He was giving Dom a platform. He was promoting it, and then making jokes about sexual assault, making jokes of such a serious matter, and really distorting the reality of what sexual assault is, which is what I've talked about in my last video, which I'll link above. I think that we as a society have a really difficult time conceptualizing sexual assault accurately, right? Because it's not always as severe as we think about it. It's not the guy in the garage. So often sexual assault is at a party, and someone's just, someone's drunk and gets coerced into something. And I think that, and David recognized that he was making jokes about it, making fun of it, putting it out there on YouTube, and really undermining the victims. And that was the last point he made, which was not only did he promote Dom, but he dismissed and denied the victims. I also thought it was valuable for him to not just say that he is, like my pet peeve in these apology videos is people go, "Hey, I'm so sorry. I'm going to take some time away and I'm going to learn." And it's like, how are you going to learn? What are you going to learn? What are you going to actually do about it? And he said, "Look, I'm going to take some time away, but there are specific things that I'm going to do differently about how I approach my channel. I'm going to take time to think about how to creatively be more responsible. And I'm also going to set up some infrastructure around me so that when I put videos or I'm creating videos, I'm thinking about the impact versus getting so locked into just creating more and more content." And David is not the first YouTuber who has gotten in this cycle of needing to create content, and as a consequence, sort of becoming looser and looser with the morals. And the one that strikes me is Logan Paul. And what Logan Paul did was bring on Mike Malak to just be a second set of eyes on everything that was put out. And all of a sudden, you saw a dramatic shift in Logan Paul's content. So from my end, he did everything that he should do in the apology. Now, the reality is that it doesn't really matter. He did what he did. His videos did what they did, and there are people that have been very negatively impacted by watching those videos and seeing the reaction to those videos. And for those people, I don't think that any apology is going to make a difference, and I think that David has to sort of just recognize that, yeah, he's not going to, there's no cure-all with an apology that comes out, 3 days after you've lost all your sponsors. But the apology itself, I thought it was good. I know that there's debate online. If you would take a second, let me know in the comments what you think. What'd you like about it? What didn't you like about it? Thanks.